Okay, now that we've seen the character themes, let's go flipping wild with this stuff. Meet Metal Sonic. Now, unfortunately, he cannot spin dash, unfortunately.
Yep.
He has trouble.
Remember, Metal Sonic was done only for the multiplayer, and the stages were made with his code set in mind, not so much these. Especially not these.
That being said, yes, so...
Hey,
so he can't do everything... Yep. He can't do everything that Sonic can. However, he can do quite a bit to make up for that. Like I said, he is the fastest speed character. He will have amazing acceleration, and when he shoots off like a rocket, essentially. Also, his jumping mechanics are off the chart, essentially. He can essentially do a jump that would usually require Sonic or Shadow to do a spin dash to build up that amount of speed first.
Yep.
There are some people who speculate that going off of his source code as well, that he uses aspects of what would have happened if Super Sonic and Super Shadow were playable in the game, which was apparently something that was planned at some point.
Which can be now done thanks to mods.
I would have shown that, but it's unfortunately a bit annoying because it always activates whenever you double jump, and since you double jump a lot in these games, as soon as you have 50 rings, that would be something that's shown up just ad nauseum, which is neat to show, but I want to try and beat these games as legit as possible from the get-go. Show them skills and all that. But yeah, Metal Sonic has a much easier time completing this than Sonic, as you can see.
Well, camera aside.
Yeah, true. Yeah, that's the thing. The camera's normally fixed for mech characters, so be careful in some areas. Oh yeah, Metal Sonic also has his core shield, which essentially protects him from just about anything that tries to hit him while he's got that shield up. The thing is, though, you pretty much give up all other motion, so be careful where you use it.
There we go.
Well done, Metal Sonic.
I would say a line for him, but he can't talk it.
Yeah, that's the thing. With most of the multiplayer characters, they obviously don't have ranks to give.
They did a fiddling sound, so they're basically doing that.
Oh yeah, basically for victory, they use their lines from the multiplayer, if I recall correctly.
Okay, it's been ages since I saw at least the cutscene of boss and everything, but those heroes explains why by that point Metal Sonic can actually talk, or is just a thing that you just had to assume that now he can do.
Basically, Metal Sonic had gotten a lot more powerful at that point, to the point where he gained the power of speech and all that.
Okay.
Typically, well, okay, how about this? In the IDW comics, the way it works is regular Metal Sonic can't speak, but Neo Metal Sonic can.
Wait, Takal, what did you do?
Sir,
tell us something.
Sir, there appears to be the ghost of an echidna now rampaging through here.
But she's actually touching and hitting things. How is she doing that?
She's clearly one of those stronger ghosts. I know this because we saw her at Station Square fade into the Master Emerald.
Takal, I thought you were a pacifist. You're killing everyone in those mechs.
She may be a pacifist, but she's still an echidna.
So are voice clips recycled from Adventure 1?
Yes. No. I think she got new ones for the multiplayer.
So did they call back the original voice actress?
Not originally. You can trace back. You can trace back all the lines she says in here back to lines from Adventure 1, like the cutscene specifically.
I'm pretty sure the line "the fighting's over" was one made for the multiplayer.
No. Remember, the fighting's over is taken from that line in the ending. The fighting is over, harmony's restored, and life goes on. See? They literally went out of their way to get any possible lines from that she had in Adventure 1 that could be used. Trust me.
I mean, considering there had to be a couple of clips, I understand.
I guess.
I don't have a problem necessarily.
Well, yeah, and I guess to be fair, it's not as apparent since I didn't notice. Granted, it's been a while since I've analyzed every cutscene with Takal in Sonic Adventure, so there's that too.
Like when I play, I used to play both of these games often when I was a kid, so on a Dreamcast, right? So I can tell you, I got to know. Okay, I know exactly where this line is from. I know exactly where this line is from. Like,
I played Sonic Adventure as well, my fair share. I'll admit I tend to go more back to Adventure 2, but yeah, when it comes to the Takao bits, those are sometimes a bit tougher for me to remember. Anyway, as I mentioned, Takao is the fastest of the power characters, if I recall correctly. Yes.
She's not as powerful as Chaos and Knuckles, but she's faster.
She also doesn't have as much attack range as Chaos. Chaos, while being the slowest, does have a massive attack range thanks to his stretchy arms, essentially. Sir, I thought we were only going after the fox who's wanted. Why are we going after a Peach Echidna now?
Because the fox is now no longer important.
I can give you another example, for example, like, a lot of times when you start a multiplayer match with Takao, she will say, I must do something. Which is
yeah, that line is from Adventure 1.
Yeah, from
Final Story.
Yeah, what she says, I must do something quickly. They just remove the quickly from the line, basically. a lot of cunning editing was done to make Takao a reality here.
I guess I'll give them credit. They definitely chose the best lines to go for her multiplayer style. And, you know, to be fair, it is a multiplayer. Like, the fact they even brought her back for that is remarkable in and of itself. Whee! Look, she is a ghost. She phased right through the sign.
Considering how Adventure 1 used the 2D Wekawa icons as its life icons, and this game also has those here of their own. Like, why not just use those?
Okay, given that 3D was the in thing, they were probably doing that to show off. Look at how cool our 3D is, because I definitely remember.
Look what that mentality got us with Sonic Adventure DX's title screen.
Oh boy. Oh my god, she's climbing on nothing. Clearly she is a phantom.
That being said, don't worry everybody, when Jova does Adventure 1, I'll be sure to give him a mod that allows him to put a Wekawa art instead of that horrendous CG render that we have in the vanilla game of DX. Jeez.
Okay, it's been ages since I played the PS3 version, but I don't remember what exactly it looks like.
I'll show you.
But yeah, like I mentioned, you noticed that... Sorry, Takao, it's a bit tougher for you to rack up points without a multi-hit.
But I'm dead, I should have got that easy.
Well, that's the thing. Just clearing the stage easily doesn't always mean you'll get a high grade.
Who do you want to be?
Unless it's like the time limit one. Alright, let's do an emerald hunting stage as Tails.
Oh no.
Okay, yeah, like I mentioned,
Quite
believe it or not, it is possible to clear just about any treasure hunting stage with any character. But when it comes to certain bouts, you might need to die over and over and over again to reset the things. Because here's the thing.
I was gonna ask, how many restarts does that require, Jova?
Depends on the character, how maneuverable they are, and the stage. And like I mentioned, when it comes to Rouge and Knuckles' respective second treasure hunting stages, you have to do some extra bells and whistles because those are the stages that are guaranteed to at least have one that you're supposed to dig in to get. Because that's where you get the power-up, so obviously Sonic Team programmed those stages to require digging.
Basically, everybody, Google images what I'm talking about right now. You can share that right now. Basically, originally the title screen for Sonic Adventure DX, we know this thanks to betas that were made, was going to have a drawing from Wekawa. Again, Wekawa is a seminal Sonic artist, and he does great 2D art, so looks good, right? Here's the actual title screen we got in the vanilla version, in the finally released product instead. Because
Stop staring at me like that, please. Also, why are you so shiny?
Yeah, even I know about that
someone
one.
actually looked at that title, at the beta task, and thought,
Wait.
you know what? Kawa's art is too good. We need to fuck this up somehow.
Well,
need to nerf this.
well done, Tails. You have done Knuckles' job with A-rank precision.
Knuckles can't have shit, can he?
All right,
Amy.
we're doing hard mode. As
Amy on a
Amy.
surfboard.
Sure, why not?
I want to be
Go on,
fair
Jova.
again to that CG art. Again, 3D was really in at the time, and you know, probably back then, yes, that looked incredible. Still would have preferred the Uekawa art, but I digress. Okay, so
If I had to guess, it's like, oh, no.
like I mentioned with hard mode, you will get more enemies, different enemy placements, and also you may want to change a bit on how you want to play certain stages. Because, yeah, Omo Chow ain't here to help you, from what I recall in hard mode. Just to show how hard it is. Now, that being said, it may be a bit hard to get the A rank with Amy because she cannot do everything Sonic can, essentially. Now, mind you, she can do quite a bit, essentially, but she is not as fast as Sonic for starters. And, I'm trying to remember. Yeah, she has the light speed dash, since, you know, she would need that for certain races, but, I think she doesn't have, the bounce attack. Oh, wait, no. The light attack, yeah. Which does come in handy when enemies decide to go all electric like that. But yeah, as you'll see here, essentially, enemies now have stuff like shields, which means instead of homing attack them, you'll want to somersault, essentially. There's more enemies put. Gates are put to slow down your progress, essentially. So, yeah, hard mode do be asking for your skill set. Imagine how fun Final Rush is on hard mode.
Sonic, we got a problem.
What?
Amy's being chased by a gun.
Why is Amy being chased by a gun?
You know that restraining order you put through the mail?
Yeah?
It got sent to gun by mistake.
Oh dear.
You know what gunner like would try to enforce things?
All too well.
Should we help her?
Nah, she's capable. She can handle it. Tell you what, if she even escapes them, I might even have to give her a congratulations for that.
There you go.
If she gets arrested, you owe me a chili dog.
Sure, you're
I
right.
just-
Oh, Jesus.
Oh, she nearly got hit there.
Like I mentioned, Amy's not as fast as Sonic, so you will be cutting it a bit close.
Oh, darn. I'm not gonna get my chili dog now.
Looks like I come out on top.
Actually, Sonic characters did have some manuals about their favorite food, like mint candy for Tails. Do we know what Amy's is?
I don't recall.
We know about grapes for Knuckles as
Hey,
well.
Big.
Bye, Big.
Yep.
Cal, I'm not sure you... Oh, God.
She
She's a
went...
ghost. Remember, she can face freely.
Whoop! Face for that, too. but not that. Just pray for a bit. Okay, let's go.
Okay.
That's one of our idle animations.
Sir, we have located the ghost. We located the ghost echidna. She's in Rail Canyon.
Don't you mean Pumpkin Hill?
They look the same.
Rail Canyon's not even in this game.
I think you mean
is?
Skyrail.
Yeah, that too. Sir, forgive me, sir. There's a lot of places that are just rail segments that we can grind on.
You know, given that this does look a lot like Pumpkin Hill, I wonder...
Yeah, I played Heroes too much when I was
The
younger.
bigger question is, what part of America is this supposed to be?
Clearly Utah.
Well, I'm
Grand
gonna,
Canyon.
yeah, I'm gonna trust you on that, I suppose.
Unless this is set in a different country, given how the world map looks.
I mean, I guess it's a war tour. To be fair, the war map would also look like a mess, so... I guess these also might as well, you know, since we spent the entire game run not talking about it, because I know it is actually a point of contention. The removal of the hub world and instead of having the stages present on map and you go from one to the other. Jovahexeon showcased it in order to make, you know, the process of, you know, storytelling more cohesive.
Wait, no. Actually, I have been showing the world map. If you're talking about the story mode...
Right now, I'm talking about beforehand, you know, it's just we start seeing recently. Normally, in the main game, if you play the story, you will still see the world map in some capacity. It's just that, you know, transition from stage to cutscene, you did edit that out.
Watch this. Holy cow, there's actually treasure in this speed stage! Jackpot! Which leads me to wonder if this really is just Pumpkin Hill reskin for this.
Gee,
The reused acid, maybe?
It is actually. Like, it's kind of like how, again, remember the Rush development, so they have to cut some corners, yes?
But yeah, again, that begs the question, you know, about, you know, removal of the hub and instead replacing with the stage to stage onto just a war map. Like, opinions?
I actually prefer that anyway, so I'm fine.
Oh, Knuckles, thank you for giving me your one life.
You prefer...
So on.
Wait, so you prefer the world map over the hub, Pedro?
Well, the thing is, the hub worlds in Sonic Adventure 1, especially 06 and Unleashed, never really did much for me. So honestly, it feels like well, it's not the open zone in Frontiers is a whole different matter, obviously. But like when it comes to traditional platformy hub worlds in the vein of 64 or Banjo-Kazooie, I don't hate them, but I could have. I don't hate the hub worlds in Sonic Adventure Unleashed.
Yes!
I could have lived with that, but I could have lived without them as well. Yeah, exactly.
I love how I hit that right off the skydive.
Like I said, Theo, I don't hate them, but at the same time, I could have lived without them. Basically.
Sure.
I'm personally fine either
06
way.
in
Oh, there we go.
06 in particular would have been much better without the horrible hub worlds.
Admittedly, I feel like the hub worlds would have been better if they were just, you know, programmed well. Alright, let's see if Sonic could have also done that other stage that Tails said he would handle. Eternal Engine. As for my take on hub worlds or the world map, I like both. That said, it would have been cool if they could have done the hub worlds again, but given the frantic pace of the story, I can also get why they may not have done that either, too. Let me put it like this. I feel like each game has its own well enough flow that works for it specifically. If it were up to me, I would have brought back the hub worlds, but I'm content with what they managed in Adventure 2. What do you think, Shiroi?
I guess the hub worlds just makes the world feel a bit more lived in.
I mean, it's a bit weird that it's a sequel to Adventure, yet they remove one of the defining things about Adventure.
Which
Well, I
ironic.
think it's also important to remember that it
Everything
was
felt
all-
connected in Adventure, I feel.
One thing that's important to remember is that development constraints and budget and
Also the
because
fact that they thought that this may or may not be the last title, given how the Dreamcast was sadly kind of dying.
it's also one of a constant problem that Sonic has had for a long time is rush development.
Especially
all
when
the
they
way
want to
back
rush it
Sonic
for
2.
the anniversary.
Remember, Sonic 2 had half of its stages cut out to meet the deadline. Sonic 3 had to be split in 2 games to make the deadline.
Okay, like
so-
when it, consider 06 like the bad ending of what could have happened with Adventure 2, since Adventure 2 has a similar story to 06. Rushed for the anniversary date. The difference is Adventure 2 ended
That's
up being... Huh? Yes,
Adventure
Pedro?
2 was made at a time when game development was easier, but when you're doing an HD game in the 360, it becomes a lot more time-consuming and budget-consuming in comparison. So the method that they were using up until that point, they couldn't get away with it anymore. That's why 06 turned out the way it was.
Yeah. Okay, now I do wonder if another reason that they left out the hub worlds may also have been the fact that Adventure 2 had a much bigger setting of story, whereas Adventure 1 was set in just the one area. Did they ever have plans for hub worlds in Adventure 2?
Not that I'm aware. That being said, like Jova said, for this particular game, it actually makes more sense not to have hub worlds because the story doesn't really justify their existence, not really, because the story is always going to go. The characters are always in a hurry to do something. And unlike with Final Fantasy 13, this game actually, doing that kind of thing in this game makes much more sense compared to removing world map in 13. So with a game like this, that kind of decision making actually does make sense for a game like this. So I actually think it's fine.
What do you think, Gibbs?
I mean, I don't mind either way. I mean, as long as it's not like 06.
And Tio, since you proposed the question, what's your take?
Honestly, I kind of get where Pedro is coming from, but I think a solution to that, particularly with the case of 06, is that, okay, outside of the idea of not making the hub too gigantic and too hard to traverse, because that was clearly one of the problems of 06, especially with Silver, you know. Don't make them so that you get, teleported there immediately right after a stage, because Ram is pretty multiversus. Because that's potentially a pace-breaking problem. Instead, if you have a couple of story segments which flow into one another, and then you turn to the hub, if it's justified, that kind of makes more sense. Transitioning from one area to another, without having to feel the need like you're wasting your time. I think that makes more sense. Again, locations like the space part of the Space Colony Arc or say Eggman Base probably would have worked better to have a mini hub in them that worked as a transitioning from one stage to another in this. But I kind of get, that considering all the game was going for, they were probably not even at the time to think about that.
Thank goodness Sonic has a gravity animation to actually make it to this part of the level. Yeah, Little Blue Bird's been doing good on Tails' toughest stage. Unfortunately, here's the toughest bit. You don't have a hover mechanic, so you gotta make this in one shot. Yes!
I nailed it.
Whew. Trust me, covering Eternal Engine as Sonic is not as easy as I made it look. But lo and behold, it can be done. I was hoping to at least get the D rank, since Sonic does have a snarky line for that.
So now what?
Well,
Metal Harbor.
hard mode.
Metal Sonic.
Okay, Metal Harbor with hard mode. It has even tighter timing now. more enemies.
Oh,
Does
got
it also-
surplus at least.
Is the countdown to the final rocket also shorter?
Hard to say. It certainly feels shorter. Especially given what you have to do to make it to that point.
Dr. Eggman, you have made an error. Those extra lives have Shadow's face on them, even though it is clearly Metal Sonic.
Well, wait a minute. Why do you assume I'm the one who places these?
The color scheme of the boxes are similar to your color scheme. Logically, it must have been you.
That would mean I place my own as well. Wouldn't I just give myself unlimited lives if that were the case?
We only have a finite supply of those.
And you're implying I give my enemies those very extra life containers.
Well, you did say Sonic's life in the 8-bit version of Sonic 2. It would not be out of character.
Just wait until Metal has to learn about his new sister.
Mm-hmm. I hear she's an Evangelion fan.
Okay, I think
Oh,
it's
shit.
definitely shorter because I don't remember that being 15 seconds.
Oh boy. So yeah.
Two, but so wait, we skipped one.
Trying to kill whatever's coming.
But we skipped one.
Yeah, what happened to this rocket after it launched?
Fired off into space.
You would think that that gun or the US government would try to use those to actually bombard the space colony arc.
I guess to be fair, as far as they knew, Eggman could fire the Eclipse cannon at any point in time, so they didn't want to risk aggression.
I also love that Metal Sonic Victory animation is him being just caught to be acted by the camera. He's like, what the fuck?
But he did so well, he got an A rank.
Want to change the settings? Customize your menu.
Yeah, let's show off Sonic's anyway, even though we've been playing with his for most of the game.
So now what?
Want to hear something?
Not yet, Sonic. Not yet. But thanks for offering.
Better not let the dark side win.
I love Sonic's line. Better not let the dark side win. I didn't know Sonic was a Jedi.
Sonic and Storm.
Select your story.
He is
Yeah,
now.
someone's probably made that.
I
He's
mean,
talking about his 3 a.m. thoughts.
Select the stage.
beautiful.
Check out kart racing.
You know what? Maybe we shall. Cause we only took out the beginner race, so maybe we should check out the other difficulties. Oh yes, and each card does have its different set of stats. Alright, we took out the beginner, which was essentially Tails' race, so let's do intermediate, which you think would be Rouge's, but nope, intermediate and expert are their own original tracks. Which I believe Sonic Randomizer can throw in.
Also, I forgot if we asked already, but is the photo in the background an actual real-life stock footage photo of San Francisco?
I think it might be, actually. Let me
It looks
check.
a bit too detailed to be a set of models that got, plastered as a screen to be used in the background.
And the true fastest thing alive, Sonic.
Although it looks a bit more like New York.
Coming through.
And yes, each character does get special voice clips for when they're passing or winning. You'll excuse me if I don't show off every single one of those, cause, I'm already showing off all the races as is.
Mm-hmm.
Breaking news: Blue Hedgehog killed in car crash.
That would suck.
Yep, fastest thing alive. It couldn't handle a fast car.
So, let's see. Apparently the first photo location used for Sonic Adventure 2 appears to be taken from Twin Peaks, looking east towards Oakland. That's neat. The second photo location is taken from a different part of Twin Peaks, looking north towards a random hill, essentially. So, yeah, I think we can assume that all these city location backgrounds are taken from different points of the city. Some noticeably from Twin Peaks, so I guess that makes Sonic an unofficial guest star.
A Sonic Eyes remix of the Twin Peaks theme.
Catch me if you can!
Plot twist. Sonic's not actually driving it. Sonic's not actually using the engine. He's got his feet running the car.
He's piloting Flintstone style.
So Sonic is Fred Flintstone?
Yes, he is.
That would be something.
And as for how the engine noise is made, well, he just had Tails do a tape recording of it.
Hey Jova, can you do a Yabba Dabba Doo in Sonic's voice?
Yabba dabba doo! Woohoo!
Close enough.
There you go.
So, assuming we're playing these games after the end of Adventure 2, does that mean it's Shadow's Ghost that's kart racing with us?
Also, noticing about Jova's driving in this stage, allow me to remind you, Teo, that one of the alternate missions for the kart stages is not hit the walls.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can do that, but holy cow, does it take a few tries.
I can imagine, it's possible, but it will require a lot of patience.
Oh. And the other mission, don't hit any of the cars.
I will argue that one is a bit easier than the walls one, personally.
It's just that the cars are random. Like, sometimes it works out just fine, but if, say, you're in one of the interior locations, and imagine you're also trying to go for the A rank, so, trying to get good time on that, essentially, you can understand how that is a bit of a handful. Oh yeah, we literally made inner curves for our highway. Including a box turn U-turn. This is absolutely useful for getting people places. Because, don't you just get bored sometimes simply driving on a highway? Don't you want to live life like a Sonic character on the highway?
Maybe if you're Dominic Toretto, but most people tend to not do that.
Sonic in a Fast and Furious movie.
I think we already mentioned that.
I do find it weird that Tails' plane car and Rouge's Batmobile weren't included as vehicles you can drive in the multiplayer mode. They got different models and everything.
Just for one stage in the story campaign, yeah, it does feel weird.
The one as for your thing about the Fast and Furious thing, Jova, like Sonic being voiced by Dwayne Johnson is the major benefit that we get from that.
Hey, is the Rock president yet?
If you smell what Sonic is cooking.
I swear, that line was the main reason people were first hoping that Knuckles would be voiced by Dwayne. I mean, that said, since Shadow is voiced by Keanu Reeves, does that mean Sonic will recognize him as the guy from Speed? Because remember, Sonic was a big fan of Keanu Reeves in the first movie. Particularly the movie Speed.
I doubt they'll...
I hope so, for the sake also, Jova, on the back of not alienating the rest of the world, because, different voice actors and, and countries will make the joke, having to be forcefully translated to something else.
I wonder if Sonic's been shown Speed 2.
I've wondered. Well, it's funny, because he absolutely hates water. So, whoops!
Oh no!
Okay, that didn't exactly go according to plan.
I can see that this kart racing minigame maintains the spirit of Mario Kart by having the rubber banding being super ridiculous.
When you keep
Sonic, do you know how gravity works?
Right, yeah, I also should know how force of motion works. Now watch as I use it to boost ahead of you guys.
Don't
let's be honest, did you really think you were gonna beat me in a race?
Yes.
Look, Tails, that may have been your thing in the first adventure game, but here, I'm still the king of speed.
Fortunately, under this track, there's apparently a wormhole that automatically teleports you back into the track.
Again,
Yes.
part of our government engineering of the roads.
Like, at least in Mario Kart it was Lakitu brought you back, and in CTR it was Aku Aku Ruka Uka. In here, no, it just happens.
Alright.
We
One
need
more
Michael
thing to
Caine here,
do.
We have to bring Michael Caine in here so he can explain all to us about wormholes.
Okay, now that's essentially very cursed.
Yes, Eggman, back where it all began. Okay, he could not beat City Escape, and I'll just let you know, most stages, Mechless Eggman sadly cannot beat legit. However, he can win on the treasure hunting stages, but like I mentioned, you have to get very lucky with the spawns, essentially. But is there any speed level that he can beat without hacks? Let us see. That feeling when one of the toughest challenges is literally jumping on a rock.
Well, it's not the same as touching grass, but I guess spirit-wise it makes sense.
Well, technically he is touching grass.
Well, that's what I mean. Being a scientist and everything, he still has to get all the keys, I guess.
I'm really getting tired.
Also, he also has idle animations. I guess that one makes sense.
Well, yeah, I mean, if you're idle in the garden, they would put in those for that purpose.
Also, I don't think I did mention, but I cannot hear anymore, Dean Bristol in this game, and to the extension Adventure 1. After I checked out, because I didn't know it existed, but there is a Dreamcast game called Blue Stinger, I think it's called, which is a Resident Evil clone, basically. And the two main characters are voiced respectively by Ryan Drummond, and Dean Bristol.
You're kidding!
And since it's a narrated game, they swear a lot.
No, okay, what voices do they go? What voices do they go for?
Jova, Dreamcast Direction, basic, the same one that they have in these games.
You're
Oh
kidding!
my god.
Oh,
And
okay.
yeah, the third character, which is a girl, she is actually played by Lani Minella too. So it's basically a Sonic Adventure cast reunion.
Sonic, Rouge, and Eggman. He did it!
I'll give you a video after we're done.
That'd be fun.
And since Eggman doesn't have a winning animation,
He just stands there, contemplating
stands
about
there.
his life decisions.
That wasn't so difficult.
So there you go, guys. Eggman can do a speed stage. Literally the
Good to
very
know.
last one.
Good to know.
But we are not done yet. Tune in for the next part where, as for another request to Pedro, we'll be listening to some music, along with some choices of mine.
So yeah.
See you next
Yeah.
time.
Yeah.